Okay, so we finished the second op stage of going term 28. This is the first week in April. And most of the action, to the extent there has been much, has been around Tobruk. So you can see the fifth light now down here has moved up to the outskirts of Tobruk to support the Ariete and the 101st Trieste motorised division. I think I might have been calling it Trento, which I think is 102nd, has moved up to Tobruk to potentially help an Axis assault the next turn. German air forces are now in and refitting. Allied air forces have continued to refit. The 22nd Guards Brigade has marched forward and occupied Bardia, and the 1st Royal Northumberland Fusiliers has garrisoned Halifa Pass, and the 18th Australia Brigade, although they and the 22nd Guards still have no trucks, have moved up to Mersa Matruh. So in Bardia and Mersa Matruh they can get sufficient stores through naval convoys, so we're feeling relatively happy with that, but we're still waiting for our truck resources to come through Alexandria. For the Axis, they've been raiding all the nearby Allied supply dumps and have pretty much stripped all of those bare. The Trieste, Ariete and Fifth Light are all fully supplied, but each turn of movement pretty much exhausts their convoy's ability to bring supplies up from Benghazi. So coastal shipping is bringing reasonable amounts of fuel and stores up to Benghazi, and we've got those 4 infantry divisions now in the vicinity of Benghazi, so they'll be drawing on those supplies too. And we've started a shuttle up to Derna from Benghazi. You can see there's a couple of truck convoys there, so they can do the round trip in a turn along those roads as long as the weather's good. So they can shuttle forward some supplies, so they're bringing ammunition, stores and fuel from Benghazi to Derna, and then our first line trucks that are supporting the 3 mobile Axis divisions are shuttling backwards and forwards to Derna. So supply situation is already very precarious for the Axis, but we can move at least 2 of the 3 Axis divisions a full movement allowance in a turn. With the level of supplies we've got, can't advance with all 3 in parallel, but we'll see how that gives us. The assault on Tobruk is a pretty static affair, so won't need a lot of fuel for that. The next challenge will be getting the ammunition shifted forward. Germans have continued to refit some of their broken down tanks, got an extra Panzer II back this turn, but that's about it. As we've mentioned before, 7th Armour is fully refitted, but not yet released, so not available as the troops are still recovering. That's it for this turn, and we'll see in op stage 3 of this turn, I think the first assault going in on Tobruk. Let's see how they do. Okay, so we're in the 3rd op stage here, and the Axis forces have started attacking Tobruk. So you can see here the Trieste is attacking the 3rd Indian Motorised Brigade, and the 5th Light is attacking the 28th Australian Brigade. The Allies have got their air force in action. The Axis have gone in without air support this time, as their units are still refitting from moving up from the coast. We've got Hurricanes flying combat air patrol over Tobruk. They've not been needed. Then 1 unit of Hurricanes and 2 units of Blenheims have attacked the 5th Light. They've managed to pin 1 of the 2 attacking Panzer Grenadier battalions. So a pretty successful result from the Allied airstrikes. We'll move on with the combat. All right, and we've done combat much against expectations. Actually, the Italians have performed really well. So the 5th Light went in against the 26th Australian Brigade, caused reasonably heavy casualties on its first assault, and then assaulted again, failed to cause any significant casualties in the second assault, and took some casualties itself. So 5th Light not made much progress. Over here, the 1-2 by the Ariete and the Trieste proved effective. The Ariete was in reserve. The Trieste carried out 2 assaults against the 3rd Indian, which you can now see sitting in Tobruk itself, and caused pretty substantial casualties, caused it to fall back twice, so it effectively had to do a determined defence, take 2 extra sets of losses to stay in place as a result of both those assaults. The Trieste then fell back, and the Ariete came in and also conducted 2 assaults and has pretty much emasculated the 3rd Indian. None of the Italians took any losses in their assaults, good die rolls on their part, and the 3rd Indian is about 15%, 20% of its original strength. The Commonwealth forces then took the decision to pull the 3rd Indian out, and the 20th Australian has been shuffled across from the other side of the Tobruk perimeter on the basis that 5th Light is going to struggle to get round there and assault it for the moment. We've managed to ship the 1st Battalion of the Australian Brigade from Mersa Matruh into Tobruk this turn, so we're starting to get some reinforcements arrive. And down here, as last turn, we've got the 22nd Guards and Royal Northumberland Fusiliers holding Halifa Pass and Bardia. So good first assault by the Axis forces, but they have pretty much consumed all their artillery ammunition. As we've got to the end of this first week in April, there'll now be some restocking, I think, before they can carry out another assault, and we'll continue to bring up Axis Air Force to support their future attacks. Right, that's the end of the second game turn in Campaign for North Africa, and we'll be moving on to game turn 3.